Alright, let's go ahead and get started with our mountain painting today. I think I said last time I was going to make a painting with a yellow sky, and I think I've changed my mind again. I think we're gonna go back to the pink. I think I've changed my mind again. Pink looks good anyway. Pink and blue sky. It looks good anyway. We may just put one single mountain in here today. I haven't done one of them in a while. I like to do things that are a little different, and I don't think I've done one of those in a while. It's been quite a while, I think. This is phthalo blue right here. I do have, this is a wet on wet painting. There is liquid white over this whole canvas. Liquid white helps your paints blend together, in case you don't know what that is. Some people don't. And that's all it does. It's slick, and that's referred to as a wet on wet painting. Okay, let's take a little Prussian blue. See how dark it is? I'm going to mix all this up with a 2-inch brush here in a minute. But for now, I'm just placing this in here with a 1-inch brush. Get your corners and across the top really dark. Okay, let's get us a 2-inch brush. Let's get one that's clean. Very important. Not too stiff. They're all kind of stiff, I guess. Start in the pink and work out. We're going to do crisscross strokes just like this. And we're going to get blue mixed in with the pink, and that is perfectly fine. But you don't want to start in the blue and work toward the pink. That would be awful. You don't want to do that. And just keep wiping your brush off on occasion. See how the blue is mixing with the pink? I like that. I think that looks good. I got me a new dog, and she is down here by my legs. Getting ready to knock something over, I'm sure, right while I'm filming. She's down here eating something. I don't know what she's getting into. I'm trying to film, and she's down there eating something off the floor in front of me. I hope it ain't something bad. Okay, don't look too bad right there. Let's stand back and look. This is Prussian blue, black, and brown, which is burnt umber. Brown is burnt umber. And I might use some of this for a shadow color. This is my second mountain here today. Let's go ahead, if we're going to do just one mountain, let's just go ahead and start with the dark color. Let's just start. Let me think, where do I want to start? Some water down in here. I guess we're going to start here since I stuck my knife on there. It don't have to be a super dramatic mountain today. Just a couple little humps here and there. I mean, it's just something simple today. Let's just see what happens. Let's put a hump right here. Let's put some color down here. Cover our pink. My dog's back. Oh, what's she getting into? I don't know. Let's scrape some of this off. She don't know that when you're filming, you shouldn't be interrupting the painter. She hasn't learned that yet. Okay. Let's pull this paint out. I'm using a dirty brush that I was using just a minute ago. Let's just pull it out. feather it out. Real basic, simple, hopefully simple little mountain today. It's a little wider than I normally make them. It's okay, it's different, that's what we want. This is brown and white, burnt umber and white, that's all this is right here. And this is what I'm going to use, I call it the topping. This is what we're going to stick up here. And you're going to barely touch the canvas. Just barely touch it. Keep your knife clean. You're going to have to, I got me a roll of paper towels right here in front of me. I don't know if you can see them or not, probably not. But they're right here in front of me. Man, they're important. Because you're going to keep picking up this bluish paint that's underneath, and you don't really want to do that. Let's see. Bring this over just a little bit. Just try to make some type of a little design out of it here. Just do the best we can. Do the best you can, man. That's all you can ask for, isn't it? That's all a person can ever do. Just try your best. Try your best, and if you don't succeed, well, you tried. I mean, nobody can knock you for trying. Okay, that's probably good enough for what we're doing here today. Let me clean my knife as good as I can. Let me set my palette down and get me a better, cleaner spot on my paper towels. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put probably heard my dog just snort. Let's go, or sneeze. Let's go ahead, let's try this color here. Let's see what this looks like. Let me do a test right here. Let me put a little bit of white in that. I need a little bit more anyway. This white might be enough. Yeah, that's not too bad right there. Not too bad of a color. Let's just keep going with it. Yeah, that's not bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, I'm going to start darkening this up just a little bit. When I say a little bit, I probably mean a lot. Let's start. I'm just mixing these two together is all I'm really doing. Let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, that's a lot darker, isn't it? Oh yeah. Since I got that dark, I've got to put a little bit up in here now. Yeah. Let's see how dark it is here. It's pretty dark. Remove my paper towels. Let's take this brush right here and let's see. Let's just soften a little bit. Just a little. soften some of this up a little bit. Wipe this brush off. Softening it up a little bit, because this is pretty harsh right there. Some of these spots look rough, which is, it's a mountain, I mean, it's okay. Okay, let me look at it a second. I'm going to take some of this topping, so to speak, and just touch up some spots that I think needs it. Probably right here. Let me take I'm gonna take some white. I like them snow-capped. I got just a little bit left. I hope this is enough. I don't know if it will be or not, but if it ain't, we'll get more. Let's just graze. Just barely skim it. I don't know what my dog is eating, but boy, she's taking advantage of me right now. She knows I can't quit painting. She's smart. Okay, I got some more white. Let me just throw a little bit here and there. That's good. Just throw some right in here. Okay, that's all right. That's not too much. Let's throw some water about in here. This is pink. I actually got pink in here. Why not? You know, we have it. Let's use it. Let's throw some pink in there. Okay, let's make these. Let's make a little darker here at the bottom. I'm just using leftover paint. This is just mountain paint. I'm not sure, you know, I'm just winging this, so I'm not sure what we want to do yet. I'll tell you what we will do that I'm pretty sure we need. There's a piece of land right here. It's a big piece of land, isn't it? Okay. Let's put a piece of land right here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's throw some background trees in here. Let's take some black, some green. Let's throw some background trees in. That's what we're going to call them. I mean, they could be anything. We don't really know what they are. They're just, it's something that's there that we need. You need them because they look good, and plus it covers up this edge right here. You could use pine trees. I did one with some, I think I did a short with pine trees the other day. I just kind of like these better, because it kind of leaves you guessing. You're like, what is that? Well, I don't know. Could be big bushes. I don't know. We just don't know. Keeps you guessing that way. Let's take a little, just a little cad yellow light, just for some color. If we can get it to stick on here. And that's all it's for, just a little, just for something extra. Don't have to make a big deal out of it or anything, just stick it on there. Now let's take us a blending brush. Okay, I got one. Let's see if this is this might be a little dirty, I don't know. Let me go ahead and get my paper towels in my hand. Hold on to them, because you got to wipe your brush off. Oh, let's go ahead and put some reflections in right here. Probably start right in there. And I'm wiping my brush off each and every time. And we'll just give them a little swipe. I'm gonna have grass right here, so we ain't worried too much about that spot. Okay, that looks all right. Let's get us a water line. I think I'm just gonna, well, I gotta clean my knife off for one thing. I might just use this mountain color for a water line. Let's see, it's kind of brownish. Maybe I better put a little white in it. I just didn't want it solid white. And that's probably good enough for that. Let's go ahead and put some grass in right here. I got me a fan brush. And I guess we'll get started right here. I'm just going to take some cad yellow light, mix it with some yellow ochre. And we're just going to start right here. We know that the light is coming down this direction today. And since this is bluish anyway, it's going to make us kind of have a green tint. So everything's okay as far as that goes. Oh, let's see here. I'll just go ahead and do this side while I'm at it before I contaminate my brush with darker colors. We're going to have some pine trees and stuff over here. Probably coming all the way down to probably in here somewhere. I made this too tall really, but we can deal with it. We can deal with it. I'm probably putting grass where I don't even need it, but that's all right. That's okay. Let's take some green. Take some green. Let's put some green over here. I need to switch to Prussian blue real quick. I need this quite a bit darker. Down here toward the bottom, you want it darker. Darker down here. I usually have alizarin crimson on my palette to mix with this Prussian blue, but I just don't have any right now. Okay, let's do this side that way. Dark down here toward the bottom. I need a dark, dirty brush. I think I'm just going to take some black. Good old black. Now let me take my blending brush, make sure it's clean. Let's just Do one of these numbers to it. That's probably good enough for that. Little water line. So we know where things start and stop. Now let's get ready to do some pine trees. Okay, I'm back. Well, as you can see, something looks a little different. And this is where I'm going to put pine trees at. I scraped it off, I wiped it off. Remember, this canvas is really wet, and this really helps when you do that. So that's why it looks kind of weird. Let's take some black and some green. But you got to make sure, of course, you cover all this up that you've done right there. And that's what we're planning on doing, is covering every bit of this up. So you have to make sure you know where your pine trees are going. And we are going to put in some pine trees. There's one. I got an odd number. I got 5. I might bring this one up a little bit more right here. Cover up some of this area back in here a little bit better. Yeah, it really helps, man. Wipe it off before you start putting these pine trees on. I think I said that on the last couple of videos too, because I started doing that. I used to not do that, and my gosh, it's when you're trying to put wet paint on top of it, it's really hard. Remember, this is oil paint. This is not acrylic. This doesn't dry like that. This stuff here, it stays wet for weeks. I mean, it can stay wet for longer than that. I mean, it stays wet. Oil paint does. So I figured out that if I just take a little time, wipe the spots off with a shop towel, and scrape it, it really helps, and it does tremendously. There's 4. I like those. Those are nice. I got a pretty tall one right here. So let's do this one. And this one here is kind of tall. Well, let's go ahead and put some highlights on these pine trees. I got a brush in one hand, paper towel in the other. I'm going to use some cad yellow light. I may actually put a little yellow ochre in this today. I usually don't do that, but just for something different, I think I will. I'll show you how to do a few of these, and I'll probably do 1 or 2 off camera. But I just touched the right side of these trees. These are my highlights right here. Got to keep wiping your brush off, because we know that how wet this is, because we just put them in. Oops, I need more paint than that. You got to get a bunch of paint on your brush, because it is so wet. And you got to keep reloading. I got my palette sitting down. I have to. I can't hold it right now. Too much stuff in my hands. And we just come all the way down. Like I said, I just like how the way it looks when you do it this way, and that's the only reason. There's all kinds of ways to do it. I'll just sprinkle a little bit here and there. You can take a fan brush and get a pretty good effect with it. Okay, we'll start here. And I'm starting on the outside because these trees are so wet. Start on the outside and working my way in. That's probably good enough for that one. Yeah, you just want to give a sense of some type of light hitting the trees. And just keep going. Just keep doing it. I'll put a little bit down in here. I don't know how much I need.